I think we dropped him on mistake.
Zito hung up.
I might have pressed the wrong button. So Zito, you're running graphics and audio back there. That's what I'm talking about. See, the more you could do.
Hey Pat, if you
Do you know how to work it?
No, but
Yeah.
if you ask a question or something, Pat, ask just say either my name or Nick's name. I don't want to talk over each other.
That's like your big thing is you don't want anybody to talk over anybody.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Trying to.
It's.
But
I just think it's gonna happen.
it is, but I can't. The thing is, when we talk over each other, I can't hear half the stuff you guys say.
That is a little bit of a disadvantage of being on that side and not on this side.
It's all right. I mean, I like adversity. It makes me better. But I'm just saying. I'm just trying to.
That's a motivation.
Trying to perform at an optimal level here. This isn't some ragtag operation.
It actually this is very much a ragtag operation.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. That's why it's good. It's a ragtag operation with presented as a professional show, though. That's why it's good.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. I think.
Uh-huh.
It looks good. Like you spent $12 million of your own money, built this place, and then you eat edibles on camera and talk about it.
No, I ate edibles off camera. I came onto camera after eating the edible.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to duck off camera to smoke this.
I think we're currently live anyway, so it's kind of
late.
you already got us in trouble with the YouTube people anyway.
Why is it such a mystery when we're live or not?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we're live right now either. I mean, it's all Billy Tubes. Did you see his
He's the
performance last
gatekeeper.
night? Did you see his performance last night at basketball, Billy Tubes?
I saw some of it. Yeah.
He can do whatever he can do. No wrong right now. That guy's on a lot of Tylenol, Advil, I'd assume. He's probably got a Toradol shot this morning. I mean, he
Needs to be in the ice bath.
He does need to be in an ice bath for the next 24 hours.
Massage,
He does. We do need
fluids.
everything. He needs a little ice and stim. The kid needs a little bit. Remember when that was the answer for everything?
Never for me. That stem is garbage.
Yeah, but that was always the answer. I feel like by
Still is. Don't you feel like it still is? Or go hook him up to stem. Like, you got no cartilage in your knee, bud. It's not going to help.
Let's get some stim in there to activate those muscles. Okay.
You know, Pat, you're smart. Stem works if you've just had surgery and you're one day out and you want to get your quad firing. You can flex with the stem on your quad and above your knee. Like, if you have knee surgery.
I was introduced to stem whenever my mom, I forget how old I was. I was in my teens probably. My mom was always, and I respect her for this, she was always trying to find the easiest, fastest way to get in shape. Okay? My mom. So they sell this belt that you would put on your stomach, and then it would just electrocute the shit out of you, and then it would tighten your abs, and then it would stop. And my mom and I were watching the commercial together, and we thought, oh, that's the easiest way to get a six-pack for sure. And then you get that thing, and it literally is like that movie where they try to electrocute your head. Your whole body is just, you're getting like shocked and burnt on your stomach while you have it. But if you got that thing tight enough, it was a stim. That's all it was. It was just a portable stimulator. Is that what it's called? That's what
Stem, STIM. I don't know how I don't know what it's.
stimulator. It's those electric things they put on the other thing and just wakes it up. It was the answer for everything there for a little bit in the athletic training world. And then obviously they got a lot smarter and other stuff happened. But
They sell it at like Walgreens now. You can buy little stem units.
you didn't like it. I always liked it. I always thought I was working out and not doing anything. I was just sitting
No,
there.
it's never to work. People they put it on people in the training room to like just to show they're doing something. Oh, got to get treatment. Like, no, it's not doing anything.
is it like the paddles for your heart, but for your muscles?
Yeah, and they get attached.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Paddles for your heart bring you back to life.
Yeah, but it's the same science.
Just smaller version.
Do you know that?
Yeah, I will say that I know that is a
The
similar
paddles shock
science.
your heart back to start getting beating again.
Yeah, but I think the paddles, I think they shoot from one to the other, right? Like that's what happens. From my understanding, can somebody turn on Nick's microphone? I think the paddles they shoot from one to the other, and in the stem they shoot from one to the other too. I think it's the same science.
Yeah, it might be, man. I don't know.
I have no idea. I should not have said that so confident, but I was very confident.
I learned something today.
I think that's what happens. I think with the paddles they shoot to each other, right? Because they're not.
Does it
Well, you
matter
always
though
need two.
who they shoot to?
Right? You can't just use one.
But then the stem is the same way. It's shooting from one little square to the other one. that's waking up the muscle.
Little shots.
I always thought if I put it on the outside of my quad and the inside of my quad, my entire quad would get a workout without me moving. Was that not?
It's not about getting a workout. That's not what it's made for.
I was doing it all
It's like
wrong.
help pump blood through there and get some swelling out and all that.
I would just be laying in bed, lazy as hell. I'm like, let's get these quads worked out. Just put it in there. It would like lock up and then release, and then lock up, then release. I'd have it on for like 25, 30 minutes while watching the show. It didn't move a single bone in my body, but I felt like I just got a full quad workout. I felt very good about it,
I
too.
remember you and Tripp had those belts
Oh,
you
yeah.
had put on.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you got more fat loss out of the sweat that you had them on for.
Exactly. I mean, whatever happened, as long as it's working. I'm all about finding a nice, easy way to work out, and I always thought that's what that was doing. You're telling me that's not the case. I'm mind blown right now.
I don't know. I never thought of it as a workout, I guess.
That's because you like real workout, I think, right?
I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to steal workout at all times.
I think you're right.
Me?
Yeah.
Diggs is looking something up, so this isn't just Diggs's brain. This is also his phone, I think.
It says STEM uses electrical pulses to mimic the action of signals coming from neurons. These mild electrical currents target either muscles or nerves. Therapy for muscle recovery sends signals to target muscles to make them contract and increase blood flow, blah, blah, blah. Here's your part. Those muscles also improve their strength through repeated cycles of contraction and relaxation. eStim can also train muscle to respond to the body's natural signals to contract.
That's why I became punter of the decade, right there, because of those things. I was just laying down. Are we live, Bill?
Yeah. We're live.
Oh, yeah.
We are live?
Tim
Yeah.
McAfee
Why is it
also
why is it
confirmed.
always a mystery?
What's that?
Tim McAfee also confirmed. Correct. One is positive, one is negative, so it flows.
Welcome to McAfee and Hawk Sports Talk on this beautiful Saturday, March 21st. A little weekend edition of what people are saying is their new favorite sports talk show. I am the McAfee part of McAfee and Hawk Sports Talk, and the man sitting to my left is the Hawk part. That is...
I am AJ Hawk joining Pat, and I wanted to start off the show first and say R.I.P. Kenny Rogers. An American legend has died.
We should have a moment of silence for him. Legit. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to hold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Rest in peace, Kenny Rogers. What a legend.
I thought you were going to do the whole song.
I could have. I think I could have. If somebody would have gave me the first couple words of the next one, I could have got it. High school, big song. We were playing poker every night, basically. And that Kenny Rogers theme was a heater. It came back. I always thought somebody would remix that song because it was so hot. Poker was so hot. And then nobody ever really took advantage of it. But rest in peace, Kenny Rogers. That Gambler song was a banger.
Yeah, it was. You know, it's another bad timing. I mean, it sucks anytime anyone passes away, but right now, like whenever they have his funeral, it'll have to be like social distancing funeral. My dad had to go to one, I think yesterday, that like the social distancing was built in. And I'm like, man, that's just all around bad situation.
I didn't even think about something like that in the middle of this situation. I know my wedding, I'm so cute, married in a couple months. Boy, there's a lot of conversations happening between people that are making decisions about that wedding right now, I think.
It's a destination wedding too, right?
Yeah, it is. It's out in the middle of the ocean, which is good and bad because maybe the virus didn't get there. But if it's there, I don't know. And look, yesterday I approached the subject with my fiance. I was like, we're potentially going to have to move this wedding, huh? And she's like, I'm not ready for that conversation yet. I'm like, well, I think we're probably going to have to run right into it in a couple of days. It feels like everything on earth has been put on stop. Yep. Everything. Except for this show. And joining us today, our second ever guest, AJ. Second ever guest. This is a big deal.
Huge deal.
First was Bert Kreischer yesterday, being followed up now by a man who is incredible at the football. He was roommates with AJ Hawk in college. He's a guy who is releasing barbecue sauces, I believe, at the current moment to make whatever food you're currently eating while locked down even better. Ladies and gentlemen, offensive lineman, Nick Mangold.
There you go, Nick.
Attaboy, Nick! Attaboy, Nick!
Can you all hear me?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear, pal. What do you got going on over there in lockdown?
Well, it's just another day here. It's day 10 without seeing our babysitter. Just pretty much at my wit's end.
Strap in. I think you have some plenty of more time involved. So, Nick, if you had a regular babysitter that came over, does she not live close and she can't make it, or are you just being precautious? How's it working?
No, so we're just being precautious, or at least my wife is. We always had her on Monday nights were date nights because, as you two know, Tuesdays were typically your off day in the NFL, so we just kept with Monday nights. And then Wednesdays during the day. And, I think just as part of the whole social distancing, we're trying to abide by it and having a grand old time with the kids.
Are you teaching him over there? AJ's like Mr. Hawk over there with his kids, teaching them in the living room. They got the neighbors' kids coming over. It's one big elementary school, and AJ Hawk's
Easy. Not that big.
less than 10 people, but it's still over there at the plantation that AJ Hawk has, the estate. There's just thousands of kids running around. Are you a teacher right now to your children at home?
Yeah, so I'm the math tutor, and we only have one in real school. So he's in third grade. So we're doing geometry right now, which I always enjoyed math. But I feel like I'm teaching it to him like I know it. And with the whole new math and new world of teaching and everything, I feel like I'm completely screwing him up for when he has to go back.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared, dude. I got geometry.
No, Pat. What made me laugh is Nick. Once you mentioned geometry, Pat started drawing shapes in the air. Like, oh yeah, it's like shapes, right? Triangle, square, circle.
That's all it is.
All your polygons.
Oh, I'll tell you what. When you get up to the pentagon, I'll really start talking about that sextuplet. What is a sextagon? Sextagon?
Yep.
Why did they teach us any of that? None of that mattered. What's a stop sign? That's all I fucking need to know.
Well, that's the octagon.
Nailed it, Mr. Mangold. Nailing it as a teacher. Whenever you were in college with AJ Hawk, what was it like to be an Ohio State legend, living with another Ohio State legend? What was your time like at Ohio State, and what was Columbus like whenever AJ Hawk was there?
We had a fantastic time. The thing that always surprised me the most, us living together, especially once AJ started growing his hair out a little bit to look better, was how many people got me confused with AJ, which I felt great about because I was like, I'm a chiseled 240-pound linebacker. I'm rocking the world. But then I felt bad for AJ. Like, oh, man, they think he's a 300-pound slob.
It's okay. I was never offended by that, Nick. And something you don't know, Pat, Nick is like a lot of offensive linemen, especially guys that played center. He's very, very smart. Nick, your first year at Ohio State, you majored in architecture? I remember I used to have to drive Nick to his labs late at night, like at 10 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night, and he'd be there till 2 or 3 in the morning drawing up all of his architecture plans. I know that was almost an impossible schedule to keep, but you ever go back to that, Nick, and get back to your roots?
I don't know. Now that I've graduated from The Ohio State University, I've thought about it. That now to get a master's in architecture only takes 2 years. But what I learned, that freshman year as we were going through architecture, that architecture and football do not mix. So now that football's done, maybe I'll get back into it.
2 years? Are they just handing out architecture degrees over there at Ohio State? That feels like 2 years.
Masters. For his masters, he's saying.
Oh, you graduated with a architecture degree already?
No, I graduated with a business degree. But if I go back, you can go into the architecture school and get your master's in 2 years.
I think what you should do is just keep hammering these barbecue sauces. How's the business going? When are we getting more flavors? And the OG and the spicy OG are absolutely delicious. The world needs to try some of 74 barbecues.
Yeah, so we got the shipment in, so we're now shipping orders. So you can go to 74barbecue.com or bbq.com and order now. And hopefully, with I'm a genius for starting up a business, and that right during a mass pandemic. But other than that, it's been a lot of fun. And I'll try to get some cases out to you. That way you can spread the wealth.
Let us buy it, though.
We already did.
Yeah, we already bought some, I think. Zito, we already bought a couple whenever you
Phil
were on.
got it for us.
Yeah, when you were on Good Morning Football. We saw you on there.
You guys are the best.
Well, we want to support small business, and I think AJ even said he made a lot of orders. Isn't that right, AJ? You've already ordered a bunch. You're going to give away and stuff on this show. You said you were going to give away 10 bottles on this show.
Oh, yeah.
That's what AJ said he was going to do.
Yeah, the ones I ordered actually got shipped to Pat's studio, so they're there. Those are the ones I'll give away.
I always said AJ was the best.
What did you guys used to bang in practice? You guys used to go at it in practice?
Hit each other?
Yeah.
I don't know, Nick. Did we? I mean, yeah, we went ones-on-ones a decent amount. So I grew up with Nick. I've known him since we were like 5. So yeah, we've had to clash skulls a few times. And then when he was with the Jets, I played against him a couple times too.
Was AJ always just a super meathead, Nick? Is that how he's always been?
Sorry, Pat, I can't hear you. You're starting to slip out there.
Oh, that's on me. Was AJ always a massive meathead? Like, what was he like growing up and then all through college? And then what do you see now as AJ Hawk?
Well, what you see now is not like what we saw in college, AJ. And now he talks, so that's a big step. But definitely in college, he was always a meathead. He was, and it was great. We found a love for Chipotle in college.
Smart.
We would have it all the time, as much as we could. And AJ was the meathead that would get the 2 burritos with just chicken and rice, and that's it.
Attaboy,
Respect.
AJ. That's why you get that jawline, though. You just eat that type of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick loved Chipotle. Nick and our other roommate, Johnny, who I grew up with, and Nick did too. Nick's known him forever. They go Chipotle at least once a day, I feel like, and then leave all the foil sitting around the living room for me to clean up.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like you did all the cleaning.
Oh, is this?
Just kidding, man.
Oh!
It was great. We had a good house, though. We had a perfect house. We had a great porch. We were close to the stadium. You could walk to class if you wanted. Yeah, it was a good situation there at Ohio State.
Ohio State's an insane place, huh? Did you guys have a good time there? Was that a place a pretty good time? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had a good time. And I joke that he didn't do any of the cleaning, but when I think back to our house in college, which we lived in the same house for 3 years, we actually did keep that thing remarkably clean with how many people we had in and out. And for 3 guys, college age, I still sit back and think of how ridiculous we were being able to keep that clean.
My roommates and I got kicked out of a house. Then we ended up in another spot. But if you kept your place clean, I'd be nothing short of impressed. Did you guys host parties? Were you the house that had the parties and the get-togethers of the team, or was that somebody else?
No, we didn't really host too many parties. Our house was that was like the nap house because we were right next to campus. So in between classes, guys would have a little bit of time and they would just stop by our house and fall asleep on the couch until their next class.
I respect that. I never went to class. I could see it. I could see how you would want to nap in between them. Hey, Nick, AJ says he's never had a concussion in his life.
If he says it, I believe it.
Whoa. Wow. Centerville. Yeah, it's Centerville, Ohio talk. There's no way. I mean, that's AJ. That's a blatant lie, too. You know that is a blatant lie.
I mean, I don't know how many times you're going to come back to this, but
Well, because you and Nick Mangold have been banging your heads into each other since you're 5 years old, right? And I would assume, I mean, this just seems like, is Centerville, Ohio just make men differently over there?
no, people still get concussed all the time. I mentioned it multiple times. Maybe it was a combination of my genetics and whatever. I was lucky enough to not get dinged up, and my also old school helmet that I wore, and I didn't give in to everyone trying to get me into this super new age light helmet that covers half your face and your chin strap is stupid. You can't even get the thing off.
I respect that.
He really likes that new helmet.
Hates it, dude. He went on a full rant about it the other day. That's why I like poking the bear here. Nick, now this can sound like an interesting question. Tom Brady's going to another place, which probably means another center. Is the relationship between quarterback and center paramount in this whole thing? Because it is a very intimate situation. And have you and most of your quarterbacks gotten along? And has there ever been a quarterback that didn't like you, but still had to be very close to business with you whenever he's receiving the snap there from your taint?
Very descriptive area. I don't know if there's any quarterbacks that didn't like me. I never really asked. But, it is a very close relationship where you just don't think about it. And, it will be interesting seeing Tom go. I mean, he's had plenty of centers over his 20-year career. But to have to go do it in a new setting, in a new facility with every new teammate, it's going to be a big change for him. It's going to be interesting to see if he is able to pull it off like Peyton did, or if he ends up like the Favre route.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask about, Nick. So Nick was the center in New York for the Jets when Brett Favre came from Green Bay to New York, and you saw Brett go through that transition. Was it fun to watch Brett come into a new setting after he'd been in Green Bay 15, 16 years and try to just consume all of this new information and just figure out where his meeting rooms are? Like, what kind of transition is that?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, at least Tom has a little bit more time, where Brett came to us in the middle of training camp, showed up to a preseason. He showed up the morning of a preseason game where we were playing Cleveland, I think. And it was neat seeing him come in. He was kind of stuck in his ways as far as play calls and everything. But, he still endeared himself with teammates, and, he got he played pretty well for us until I think he got hurt. But I don't know. It's something to be said to be able to stay at one team for your whole career. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to play out for Tom.
Did you guys change for Brett, or did Brett have to change for you guys when it came to play calling and offense and stuff like that? Because everybody's thinking that Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady's offense, and Charlie Weiss, I guess, was at the beginning of this thing, have become its own offense. Like, it's its own thing. And Bruce Arians obviously has his own offense that has been very successful. Do you see them changing for Tom, or Tom changing for them? And what happened with Brett whenever he became a Jet?
So when Brett came in, we kind of changed a bit for him, and he still kind of kept some of his old code words and different things that he used. He also, Favre being Favre, is a gunslinger, and we were playing the Chargers, and we ended up going, I think it was like 40 straight plays of empty backfield, and we were just throwing the ball over the place. We had to make up a whole new snap count, protections, all on the fly during the game. So it was kind of a mishmash of stuff that we had been doing and stuff that Brett wanted to do.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome to think of him in there with the guard. We're going on 3. What's 3? I got 3 kids. We'll call it my 3. We'll call it kids. Like, the thought of just that whole, that's awesome. Because I don't think people truly understand, like, the changing of your entire wiring of your football world could be an interesting one for Tom Brady, especially when he's been so used to that system. I'll go fuck myself.
Yeah, Pat, you still there? I'm losing you.
No. Is it me, or is it Nick? Can you hear me, AJ?
I can hear you. Are we being shadow banned again?
No.
Bill.
I can hear AJ perfectly. Pat, you're a little quiet.
Oh, man, you just called me soft. I respect that.
Pod him up. Pod Pat's mic up a little bit, guys.
What's that mean?
I don't know. I've heard radio people say it. Pod him up.
Way to use the lingo.
Nick Mangold, have you seen the AFL, the Australian Football League, Aussie Rules Football? I watched my first game last night at like 1 a.m., and it might be my favorite sport I've ever seen in my entire life.
Now, can you help explain to me, since you're now an expert on it, the difference between Australian rules football and rugby?
Well, I don't know rugby, so I couldn't tell you the difference. I could just explain to you what Australian rules football is, and then you can tell me the difference between that and what you know about rugby. Basically, Aussie rules football is the best thing that could have ever been made. They punt like 6 times a minute. There's punt passes, there's completions, there's running, there's tackling. Refs toss balls like 65 yards over their heads. It's just this awesome sport that I knew nothing about. It's played on like a 3-mile surface area of grass. It's the biggest playing surface I've ever seen. There's 18 players, I guess, per team. I think there's 18 refs too. They run around doing the thing. It's just, you're trying to score by kicking it between these 2 bigger poles. That's worth 6 points. And if you miss that and put it in between these 2 smaller poles, which are on either side of that, that's worth 1 point. And then there's just a bunch of shit going on in between. I mean, it's electric. I'm going to be honest. It is electric. They might run 4 miles a game, though. That could be the only thing that makes me think I wasn't built to play that sport. The 4-mile, 5-mile, maybe even 10-mile a game thing they got going on. But it is electric. There's no scrums like in rugby. It's a lot more open field running, I think.
Is there still tackling involved?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dudes are getting slaughtered.
Big hits.
And they're doing the jump up onto other people's backs to catch kick passes. I mean, it's just, I was up until like 2:33 in the morning, and then I started researching, and then I woke up this morning, and I got a bunch of Australians telling me they appreciated my tweets last night. So I'm hot in the Aussie Rules football world right now because I am hot on to the Aussie Rules football game. It is awesome. It is a good time.
Is this what happens when they take all of the other sports away from us?
I think so, Nick. I do believe that is potentially the case. But while watching it, it's a combination of football, soccer, volleyball, and
Lacrosse. It sounds like a lacrosse a little bit too. How much they're running and how much space they have.
potentially there's lacrosse because you're like jousting with them. But it's literally, I mean, it's the best sport.
Was it live? Did you watch a live game?
Yeah, Essendon, I think, or Essendon, or Essendon. I don't know what the ESS is their tag on the thing. And I understand that they're speaking the same language as me, but I couldn't understand a lot of things they were saying because I had it down low because my lady was sleeping, so I couldn't pick it up all. I want to watch a game with like the commentators because I feel like I'll learn more. But this Essendon squad was dominant last night. Apparently, they're like the Dallas Cowboys, though. Big fan base, never win really. They got to be. That's what a lot of people are tweeting me. My fandom is still up for grabs, by the way. I'm gonna have to do a lot more research on the AFL.
It's saying here that Aussie rules players run on average of 8 miles a game.
Oh,
Jeez.
oh yeah, it looked like it too. I was watching. I was like, "This is awesome." They're kicking the ball. That's the only way you can score. They're tackling. There's all this shit going on. And then I just watched one guy for like a minute and a half, and I'm like, "Man, that son of a bitch just ran probably 700 yards and was in like 4 different tackles in the middle of that." I'm like, I would have died. But they're all yoked. These dudes are all absolutely shredded, Nick. I mean, I would recommend watching it. I'm being serious, especially in the state that we're in right now.
Well, I mean, it sounds intriguing, especially if I can bet on it.
Yep, you can.
Perfect. Then I am now the second biggest Australian rules football fan here on the show, I think.
Have you ever seen any of these games, AJ?
I've seen like little clips of it, but I never understand what's the difference between rugby, Australian rules, football, all of that stuff.
You know, the interesting thing is whenever Aussies started coming over and punting, they're like, oh, they're doing the rugby punt. They're doing the rugby punt. And then I got to meet a couple of the Australian punters, and they were like, yeah, we play Aussie rules, mates, or whatever, like however, blokes or whatever. I don't know what the words are. I would like to pick it up because they sound cooler than us. But they're like, it's Aussie rules. It's different than rugby or whatever. And I was like, oh, cool. So I was just like, I knew that Aussie rules football was its own thing, but I never knew how big of a difference it was. And then after watching it last night, I'm like, oh, I should have watched this like 10 years ago when I heard about this thing. I guess back in the day, ESPN used to run it on a regular basis. I got a lot of tweets from 40-plus-year-olds that were like, this is what ESPN used to be late night, was just the AFL. And I'm like, fuck, should go back to that, I think.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I think Russell Crowe, the famous Maximus, actually has a part ownership on a Australian rules football team.
I'm thinking we should potentially try to own a team as well on this phone call right here. I feel like we'll sell a ton of 74 barbecue. You take some of that money. AJ will sell
New helmet, probably.
new helmet
Yeah,
to
for the
people
NFL.
for the NFL. We'll take some of that money. I'll sell hopefully
Some cleats.
some cleats or T-shirts or
Yeah.
something like that, and then we'll try to buy an AFL team. I think we would very much enjoy this venture. The stadiums hold like 100,000. They got like
yeah,
80,000,
massive.
100,000. They're massive because it's so big. It's like it really looks like a gladiator. Like you're walking into it's just-
Coliseum.
it's awesome.
Nick was correct. Russell Crowe turned Australia's worst rugby team into world champs. The South Sydney Rabbitohs. Rabbits.
I heard about the South Sydney, the Southeast Diner. Also, another team to keep your eye on, the Richmond Tigers.
Oh, yeah.
They got a dude named Dusty Martin who's tatted up. We have a picture of him. AJ, you're going to see this picture of him. You're going to love it. He's all tatted up. I guess he's like the reigning MVP, and he loves just flipping people off, which I like a lot.
All right.
Because we all know there's the AJ Hawk infamous moment, magical moment, where he was looking at a referee and he said, "Hey, pal, you can fucking eat one, huh?"
It wasn't not directed towards the referee, but whatever. However you want to tell the story. The best thing Russell Crowe has probably done after when he was Maximus, I don't know if you've seen this, but there was like an Australian local news station. They came out. He was auctioning off like all of his movie memorabilia because he was getting divorced, and so he was like his almost like little undergarments he was wearing during Gladiator. He was auctioning off, and he was kind of laughing about it. He made a couple $1 million off of it.
Smart, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he was getting rid of the helmet too. I was hoping to buy that, but then it got expensive.
Have you ever sat in an auction and a 2-month-old billionaire, like a guy who just became a billionaire 2 months ago, was in the same auction as you, about 3 tables behind you? I've been a part of that. It's a bad moment.
What were you trying to buy?
Saturday Night Live VIP experience. You get a private plane. You get tickets to Saturday Night Live. Then the after party, which I don't even know if it exists anymore. And then Jimmy Fallon tickets on Monday or something like that.
Wait, was this a charity event or was this like an actual like Meekham's auction situation?
That was at like a golf charity event.
Oh yeah, so that's not exactly an auction. It's a charity event where they auction off items to try to raise money for the charity.
Yeah, so I was at an auction.
Which is an auction.
Yeah, but charity's different though. I'm
You
with
act
AJ
like
on this one.
like Nick's into cars. You act like you went to one of those like car auctions where some guy was outbidding you from behind.
I guess.
We watched those a lot.
The Meekum auctions are amazing.
Oh,
Got me through my first child.
we watch it on a regular basis here. They should have an app where I can bid from home.
They don't have one?
I don't think so because we watch daily, and I think there's been numerous times where I was like, "Figure out if we can get that thing now," and we have come back with nothing. I don't think they have an app where you can just bid from afar.
I think
Because
you have to call.
Yeah, you called him once.
yeah, we call it. I've tried my best because there's been a couple things that have gone across the line there. That they're what's that called? The number that they
Estimation.
the reserve gets met, and it's a number that I would definitely pay. I'm like, I feel like let's get that thing in the office. We could have a antique car collection in this office if they had one of those apps where you could buy from afar.
Actually, it's probably a good point that they don't have an app just for that reason. Because I got sucked into the Meekum when my little guy's 9. So 9 years ago, he was about 2 months old, and the rest of the family came down with the flu, and so it was just me and him hanging out. And so I had nighttime duty, and he wasn't sleeping. And I watched the Meekum auctions through the night. It was, I mean, you want to talk about people getting excited about buying cars? It is beautiful.
Oh, good cars on there too. AJ, you a car guy?
Nah, I'm not really a car guy. I'd like having. I just need to be sitting up high, like a truck, Tahoe, something like that. That's all I really care about. I never really got into cars. I'm glad. I know it's an expensive hobby to dive into.
I got into cars.
You ever think about buying the old 2-door Tahoe again, AJ?
Oh man, I don't know where that guy is. That the driver's seat was broke for the last 2 years. I had it, so I was driving from the back seat pretty much. Man, that thing was amazing.
Need to bring that guy back.
What about art, Nick? Are you into art? Like, would you ever buy like a Banksy original?
No, I find art pointless. So I don't have any art, and I have no desire to own any art.
I think you get to that certain level. Like those people get all that money, and I think they're like, oh, what can we flex with? And I think they have to buy like $10 million paintings just to say that they could buy something with $10 million. I honestly think that's the only reason why they. Have you seen Dana White's art collection? Robbie from Barstool, he went and did an entire tour of Dana White's office, and listening to Dana White talk about art, I did not expect Dana White to be an art guy, and I'm not sure he ever was, but I think once you make like $1 billion, you're like, what can I fucking spend money on? He's like, this gun with some cocaine bullets in it. Give me that for $20 million or something. I think that's what happens. And I'm not sure any of us are close enough to art world yet, because it makes no sense to me either. I don't get it.
And the tough part is I appreciate, a well-drawn picture or something that looks nice painted, but when someone just slaps like a red dot on a plain piece of paper and like this is art and it's worth $10 million, that I don't get.
I can't do it. Can't do it. By the way, I would pay, and this is going to sound incredibly ignorant. I mean, I can't even fathom how the art people are going to take this message, but I would pay 25 to 30 times more for a Bob Ross painting than one of them famous what's it?
Da Vinci.
Van Gogh.
Any of them fucking guys. Yeah, I would pay 25 to 30% more for a Bob Ross painting than any of them.
They're hard to
because he
come
has all
by.
the
Have you
little
ever
happy
tried,
trees
Pat?
in
They're
his
really
paintings.
tough to get.
What you say, Nick?
I said it's because he's got all those happy little trees in his paintings.
Yeah, you're damn right. And they're not mistakes. They're happy accidents, dude. He's the
Pat, your close personal best friend, Aaron Rodgers, has a Bob Ross original in his living room.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
How?
I asked him. I don't know I think it was gifted to him from somebody else, but he had been looking.
Bob
at it for a
Ross
while.
is just giving gifts to Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I mean, Bob died like in '93, so somebody gifted it to him.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to Bob. That's awesome. That's why Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers.
That explains
Everyone,
it.
I feel like everyone around our age range or older than us would love to have a Bob Ross original. Young kids don't know anything about it, but my kids know about Bob Ross because through YouTube, I have shown them the genius that is Bob Ross. But I feel like if somehow he keeps going, like his family, the estate of Bob Ross, finds a way to keep his name out there.
As they should. Were you guys Saved by the Bell guys?
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, me too, man. Hey, turns out Zach Morris trash, from what I've been told.
What happened?
That's what these guys
Just Google it. Just Google Zach Morris's trash.
Bad guy.
Really? What happened?
A lot.
You
We
may have
didn't notice it.
overlooked some of his transgressions while watching the show, but when someone points them out to you, boy,
Bad guy.
it's a tough look.
You mean like during the show, or are you saying
Yeah.
what he did off camera?
No, his character.
No, his character. Bad guy. Exploiting his friends and stuff. I mean, it's a bad guy.
Handicap people.
So you're saying Zach Morris, not Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Correct.
We don't know
the bad
Mark. I know fucking Zach Morris trying to play other people, which is what he did in that lawyers thing. Like, hey Zach.
Franklin and Bash.
Hey, Zach, don't need you up there, okay, pal? All right? Just get back to leaning against the trash can, pal. All right? All right. What about Global Guts?
Global Guts, huh?
Still there.
Is Nick acting like he can't hear you? Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know.
I can't hear him. This is true.
He said Global Guts. You know what Global Guts is?
Globo Gut. Wait, it sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
Global Guts.
Now I've lost Pat completely.
We're going to have to say bye to Nick, aren't we? We calling him back?
Honestly, the technology doesn't make sense if you can hear Nick or not you.
AJ, you mean? Yeah, if you can hear
I
him.
think we're having technical difficulties.
So Nick, you can't hear anything that Pat or anybody else is saying but me?
I can hear you perfectly clear, but I can't hear anybody else.
It's unbelievable. This is a Zito production. Hey, will you tell Nick that I appreciate the hell out of him for joining us today?
Pat says, thank you very much, Nick. He appreciates you coming on the show, but they might have to hang up on you. I don't know if they're going to call back or not.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. we need to do this again. We could do Mangold Mondays. That would be fun on the Pat and Hawk show. So you guys have a great time. I appreciate it, and I'm going to go check out some more Australian rules football.
That a boy, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate you.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good one.
Hey, you need to check out that thing. You need to check out Aussie Rules Football. AJ, I think you would even like it. I think you would love it, actually.
I do. I mean, I think what's the most impressive thing in rugby and Australian rules football, like you said, these dudes are jacked and they're running 8, 10 miles. They're running like soccer players.
Jacked.
The fact that you can be that jacked and you can have that distance running element is just, that's so foreign to me. I was never able to really put it together when it comes to distance running.
Me neither. But I played soccer my entire life. Could never really go the distance. But boy, I was very good at finding times to get a full break mid-game. When others would be giving effort that was wasting space and energy, I was finding moments to get breath again. But you're 100% right. The long-distance cardio stuff is insane to me. There's a guy named Mason Cox. He's from America. He was an Oklahoma State basketball player who left there to go play Aussie rules football, basically. And now they compare him to Randy Moss of their sport. He's 6'10", and he goes by the name of Coxzilla. It's my guy, by the way. I like Dusty. I like him a lot. There was a dude last night I was watching. He seemed to Springer, I think his name was. He seemed to be a playmaker, was scoring a lot of things. But if he's an American that's dominant over there, and his nickname is Coxzilla, that is probably going to be my favorite guy. And that is the case here with the old Coxzilla.
He looks like they just popped a picture up. He looks on the Australian rules football field like Chara for the Boston Bruins now?
Yeah.
Is he on the Bruins?
Yeah,
The hockey player. He looks like Chara towers over everybody, and
Oh, yeah.
if anyone wants to challenge him, he'll just pound him. And he's like 48 years old and still doing it. That's what that guy looks like.
Oh, he's Coxzilla. But the jerseys, I'm buying his jersey. They're sleeveless jerseys. This league was literally made for me. I love everything about it. And I can't wait to sell some hopefully Mason Cox jerseys around town.
Maybe they'll. I'm sure they're already aware of your fandom for the sport. Maybe they'll fly you over when all the dust settles from the coronavirus, and they'll let you do some intros.
Me and I don't know if they intro, by the way. They don't even have their names on the back of the jerseys. I'm not sure their intro. Maybe I'll intro the teams. I don't know.
Why don't you intro like 24 guys then? Like, wouldn't that be good? Could you keep up that energy that you had for the Pelicans for 24 players?
Well, I think it's 36 players, right? Because 18 starters. So, and I'm sure the refs, by the way, they're a massive part of it.
Yeah.
They should get introduced as well. These refs, if the ball goes out of bounds, they're wearing these yellow shirts. They'll go jogging over, right? They've been sprinting the whole time. They grab it. They turn their back to the field and just throw it over their heads. And it goes like 50 yards.
And that restarts play?
And it's right back
So
in.
it's like a jump ball, but he's launching it.
Yeah, but it's like a jump ball, exactly. But instead, it's like a 40, 50-yard overhead toss from the ref. It is. And then this thing, whenever they kick it through, this guy had shades on last night. This ref. I mean, it is just from top to bottom. It is a glorious sport. I mean, it's the punting. They're running, sprinting, punting, passing, whistling. I mean, it's punt, pass, and kick.
Is there anything more physically taxing on your body, though, than being an NHL official or what they call them a linesman? Is that right?
Yeah, what's it? I'm going to say this. I think the Aussie Football League refs, I think they potentially run more than the NHL. I don't know. Because I don't know where are they slotted in spots or are they running
zones?
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
NHL linesmen specifically only go like goal line to the blue line. Like there's one linesman for one end of the rink and one linesman for the other end of the rink, so they don't come into.
Yeah, I don't mean as much like the distance they're covering. I'm saying, well, first off, to be a linesman in the NHL, you have to be above an elite skater, I would imagine. You got to be unbelievable. I'm sure you have a hockey background. And then you're breaking up fights all the time. Oh, and by the way, you got to avoid this puck that could hit you in the face and give you 800 stitches and break both of your orbital sockets in your eyes.
Yeah, and it's always hilarious when they get hit with a puck.
But who's that one? Wes McCauley.
Yeah.
Dude might be the greatest ref in the history of anything because these hockey refs, they got to move, right? They're moving, they're dodging pucks, they're doing all this stuff, they're separating fights. But they also chirp. Like they talk shit with the players. This Wes McCauley guy is next level. I always had this thought because you said that the refs have to be great skaters. once every 4 years, the Winter Olympics comes around, and we watch our American skaters ultimately fail, right? I mean, I would like them to win. It's primetime television. I watch to push for our American figure skaters. They're on Wheaties boxes. They're on the Today Show. They're on the internet. Everybody's telling me why this person's going to be a great figure skater representing America. And then when push comes to shove, fumbles, stumbles, 0 from the Russian judge. We lose. Okay? These NHL guys, could they not all take 1 month learning how to skate backwards and do a backflip and a spin thing and all just win Olympic gold medals in every single thing? Could they not?
Some of them could for sure.
I feel like do you see what those dudes do in the NHL? It makes no sense to me. They're smoother on ice than I am on earth. I don't understand how they do it. They're able to jump and I can't even skate backward. Like if I was to try, I don't think that is something that's talked about enough. Is like it's hard enough just to survive on ice on skates, let alone what these hockey dudes are doing to each other on there.
Also, could they be like, could they do speed skating with Apollo Antonello?
Could they? Yeah. Could Sidney
one,
Crosby?
yeah.
Could Sidney
That one
Crosby?
for sure. Speed skating, because most of them skate for like power. They work on getting power in their strides and explosivity, if you will.
Great word.
Not a lot of them work on the finesse aspects like figure skating. But if it was speed skating, that would be right up their alley.
I thought so. I feel good that others feel that way too. Because I always felt like a dick whenever I said that.
I guess. Wait, did you want to make? Did you think the referees should try to become
No.
Olympians, or the players that aren't partaking in the Olympics for hockey? Maybe
No.
if you don't make the Olympic team, you go try to become a figure skater.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. Or speed skater.
Yeah, maybe they could. Why wouldn't you? Give it a shot at least. I know a lot of football players try to become bobsledders.
Oh, I would like to become a bobsledder, I think, by the way.
Yeah, some guys really. Who was it that was pushing to do that? A couple older players were trying to qualify for the Olympics. I know the one girl did, the sprinter, the hurdler. What's her name?
Lolo.
Lolo Jones.
Lolo Jones. She made the team, didn't she?
I think so. I don't know. I think so. What do you got to do? You just got to be able to run fast, push, and then hold on for dear life, right?
I'm guessing it's a little more than that, but yeah, in theory.
I assume NBA guys would be incredible volleyball
I
players.
believe Herschel Walker was a bobsledder.
Mm-hmm.
Herschel Walker does. Isn't that our guy? Herschel?
Yeah, UFC
Yeah, he's
fighter
a
too.
machine.
Herschel Walker put you right in the dirt, didn't he?
Oh yeah. Stiff arm felt great.
At Super Bowl last year, Connor got stiff-armed by Herschel Walker right into the grass.
Well, Herschel Walker had a few MMA fights like at 50 years old, and he won. Like, this dude is an absolute freak of nature.
He's on the cabinet, I think. I think he's currently sitting on the current
Health and physics or
Yeah,
something?
I think he's on the cabinet right now.
For Trump?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah,
He
he was
had
on
some type of
Celebrity Apprentice
position.
with Trump, and I know we had him on an MMA show that I was doing on Sirius, and yeah, he's a big Trump guy.
You going serious?
Yeah.
When's your next time on Sirius?
I'd have to check my schedule. I'm not sure right now.
Wednesday?
Oh.
Wait.
Yeah, you have something Wednesday.
You have
right?
something on Wednesday, don't you?
Oh yeah, I might be on there Wednesday 12 to 3 with my brother-in-law Brady Quinn. So I thought we were doing the show here like 3:30.
Wait, but
I thought the
One
show was
o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Right after Office Olympics. Why don't you bump Office Olympics up?
Oh, so now
Aaron,
now
we have to-
Billy
So we get
McComas's showtime.
Bailey. His name's Bailey McComas.
Put some respect.
Wow.
AJ.
Aaron, you
AJ.
really know now. Huh?
Wow.
I don't know if he's going to be healed in time.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's gonna be a nice stub for a week.
Were you one of those guys, Pat? Did you have to get in cold tub, hot tub every day
Yeah.
before practice?
Not. I wouldn't do the hot tub before practice much, but I would go sit in a nice tub
Before practice.
after.
Okay.
Immediately after. 15 minutes. Let me be miserable and then I'm done.
Did you have meetings and stuff after practice with the specialist?
Yeah, we go through my reps. We go through our reps. You know?
So you got out much quicker than the other guys?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Were you able to go home, or did you have to hang around the facility?
Well, it depends on who was in charge and when. You know, it was like different decisions were being made throughout the.
Isn't
career.
that kind of stupid though? Where let's say like everyone like a schedule, say you practice, then maybe you come back and some teams get a quick lift in, and then they go meet with your individual position coach. You watch practice. Say you get done at 4:30, 5 p.m. maybe. Who knows? It's different for every team. But the specialist, like you said, you may watch your reps. You may only have 6 or 10 reps. You can do that in 5-10 minutes. The other guys are going to be watching practice for an hour, maybe longer. some coaches you're saying would make you stay around the facility just because it's not a good look if you're walking out while everyone's in meetings?
It always depended on how we were doing. It was all.
If you're winning, you can do what you want.
Yeah, you really had to read the room. Whenever you're deciding to like walk past everybody while they're walking in meetings, like, boys, see you in the morning. Have a good one. It was kind of you had to really figure out when the right time to do it was. During the day, though, pre-practice, because we'd have morning meetings, right? You have morning meetings or morning lift, whatever you do. Then you have individual meetings in the morning after the large gathering, I'd assume. Same thing, right? Yeah?
Yep.
Individual meetings is where we would go through a lot, right? In those it's like an hour or whatever, hour and a half. We go through a lot there. The returner, how they catch the ball, what ball isn't good for them to catch, going to the left, maybe going to the right. Higher ones are a problem. Or if the guy's just an animal, like, okay, how do we get a right? Like that type of stuff. You'd watch that, but there's only so many things you can really watch. In between those meetings, lunch, and then practice in the afternoon, there was normally like 4 hours where everybody else is watching more film. You guys were figuring out what the game plan was going in. And that's where I got dialed in on cornhole. I mean, I became a weapon on those cornhole boards. A weapon. 4 hours a day, 17 weeks straight. I mean, at some point, if you're a pretty good athlete, you're going to figure it the fuck out. And I did. And I did there for a while. I'm trying to get back into it. I don't have enough time.
Did you get? Would you get frustrated with players if they asked you to punt the ball out of bounds?
No, players aren't asking me that. By the way,
I don't think I've been on punt team. I started on punt team in high school. I mean, I punted in high school, but I played left wing all through college, and I played a lot of either tackle or wing in the NFL at times. And I don't think there had ever been a time I was on punt team where I didn't tell the punter to punt it out of bounds. Like, why give him a chance? Put it out of bounds. Give everyone a little bit of a break. I got to stay in the field for defense after this.
Jack Doyle, whenever he just came on the Colts, he had been cut by the Titans. We just picked him up, and he was a local guy, and he worked really hard. He's a tight end, obviously. So they wanted to give him a real shot. And he was really good at special teams. He'd never played special teams before, but he became like my left wing, right, which is basically my blind side guy. And the way I punted was everything was a fair catch, basically. So I hit everything high, not as far as it could have been. So everything was a fair catch. So if you're on the punt team, other than the gunners and the PP, basically, towards the end of my career there, you all we needed you to do was protect. Like, the gunners will get a fair catch. We'll figure this out. And if not, this is probably going to be blamed on me anyway. So like this is what it was. Jack Doyle, though. Whenever he was at the beginning of his career, he was just on special teams. And then as next year, he was still on special teams like captain. Then he started playing a lot in the offense, but we couldn't take him off of the left wing because he was one of our core guys at the beginning of the season. He kind of injuries happened and he ended up being the guy on offense. So we'd come out to punt or whatever, and Jack Doyle would be just got done almost puking, and he would look at me and go, "Pat, need you on this one, buddy." Absolutely need you on this one. I was like, you got it, Jack. He's like, need a fair catch. You need to get this thing off quick because that guy that's coming has not been playing for the last 15 downs. Like, the conversation between me and Jack going on the field was hilarious. Every single time it was hilarious. But I've never had somebody go like, hey, kick it out of bounds. A couple kickoff guys would be like, we getting a touchback here? Like, let's get a touchback here, stuff like that. But never well, you just kick it out of bounds. It's a lot harder, by the way, than people think. Like, just kicking it out of bounds and not, completely fucking your team and yourself over stats-wise.
I get it.
Kick it out of bounds, man.
I get it, but if you think about it, on kickoffs, usually the goal is don't give them a chance to return this. Yep. Why don't we have the same goal on punts? I guess you did have that goal, but you did it through fair catches.
That was our goal, though, yeah. It was still eliminated.
Most people don't have the cannon attached to their hip like you do.
Concur?
To get the ball high enough to induce a fair catch, but you also have to have solid gunners that are going to be down there threatening the returner as well.
That's what you need.
That can get off the double team.
Yeah, because you can't outkick your coverage. If your coverage is dope, I've already said that. If you got good coverage, you can't outkick it, AJ. I would have loved for you to be on the punt team. Oh, my.
You would have hated me so bad.
Yeah, right. You would have hated me so bad. I mean, it would have been kicking out of bounds. I'm like, don't you worry about it, Mr. Hawk.
I took a lot of pride in being on punt team. I don't think I gave up a block.
Hey, first round pick playing on the punt team is insane to me.
Well, I don't know if I did right away. At different times, I'd be thrown in there. Injuries or whatever. They want somebody. Like, all that matters for special teams players, I feel like, is like the coach has to feel like he can trust you. I don't care how fast you are, unless you're like a gunner. Like if you're a blocking, if I'm on the punt team, let's say, all those guys, you just have to be able to trust them that they're not going to give up a block. They're not going to let any free runners by, and then we'll figure out the coverage aspect. But just trust that they know what they're doing. They're going to sit on the inside hip with the guy inside of them, and don't let anything crease you inside.
Listen to that. You're breaking it down in detail. That's real, though, because if you gave up a blocked punt, and this stats is from like 3-4 years ago, I'm not sure if it's still accurate, but like you lost 80% of the games that you gave up a blocked punt or whatever. Like 80%. The stats were just like alarming. And whenever those data analytics folks started coming out, and now they're super deep, like on third downs on the left hash at this time, you could do that, like that. Those stats are insane. But at the beginning, it was like, if you give up a blocked punt, you're going to lose 80% of the time. A lot of teams, like, I don't want to say overreacted to that, but it became like a real. It was like people focused on. I almost had a couple offensive linemen playing on my punt team. Like I was even pitching for it. I was like, give me Jonathan Harris. He was a center from Florida. He played for us. I think he went over and played for the Jets too. He was a freak athlete. I'm like, get that guy at wing. Can I get that guy at wing? They're like, we are not putting an offensive lineman on the punt team. I'm like, hey, what's he going to do? He doesn't have to cover. Just give me. So they worked him out one time, and he did good. And they did it just to so I would stop, and he did good. I was like, he looked good, didn't he? And they're like, we are not putting a fucking offensive lineman out there. I was like, all right, well, we just wasted everybody's time. I hope we give.
Did you ever have anybody that did not want to be on special teams? They threw him on, say, punt team, and the dude just almost tried to sabotage himself because he didn't want to be out there on the next rep. He didn't want to play special teams. He was like, if I suck at this, they can't put me back out.
Oh yeah, that was a common play by like the high round draft pick player who is forced to play on special teams because they can't start on an NFL roster yet, and they don't understand that. So they get put in the special teams. They're like, well, if I suck bad enough, they're not going to put me back out here. So when I get this double team, I'm just going to roll over and die, and they're just going to probably score a touchdown against us, and I'll never get asked to do this again. And I'm sitting back there like, hey, thanks for fucking my life over, pal. Okay, if you just try a little bit harder, we'd all be in this together. But that would suck. I could see how it would suck for these guys who've been superstars in high school, superstars in college, get drafted to the NFL. You're not good enough to start for us. You got to go play punt team. And they just automatically go, I'm not playing. I hate this. And just sabotaging the situation. I could see how you would do it. But, boy, it sucks to be on the other side of it. I've only had it happen a couple times.
Well, it's tough because especially if you're a guy, let's say you're playing a little bit on offense or defense, you're going to come in there tired at times. And as you said before with Jack Doyle, you're going to be facing a guy that has been on the sideline for maybe 20 plays, and every play is his Super Bowl. He may only get 8 reps this game. And I remember there was a kid in San Francisco. I thought he was the greatest football player on the history of the planet. I was playing right wing on punt, and the dude, he may still be blocking me on the sideline. Like, I could not get off this dude. Not only was I think he ran a 4.3. He was so fast, and he just locked on me as I was trying to disengage and get down and cover the punt. It was like there was nothing I can do. Like, if you had an older brother that grabbed a hold of you, and after a while you just like, all right, well, he's got me. Can't do anything. Like, this dude was so good. And I remember talking to one of the special teams coaches about him. Like, man, this dude's unbelievable. He's like, that dude sucks. What are you talking about? He can't even play football. I was like, well, he sure as hell can play punt return because he's amazing. And I think he got cut after that year. Maybe he didn't have great football instincts, but he knew how to rush a punt and then sit down and lock you up and not let you get down the field.
There's always those football instincts because a lot of players on defense would be great on special teams, but they have no idea what to do on the defensive side of the ball. So the defensive coordinator fights against them making the roster, where the special teams coordinator is like, please just can you not just put him in a position where he can just stand there? And they're like, no, the guy has no idea what football is. So he can't be like, yeah, but he's great at covering a punt. Great at covering a punt. It's a very interesting thing. Do you only remember your bad plays from your career?
Yeah, pretty much. I remember a lot of them, like getting blindsided, getting blasted. I remember I was on punt return like once or twice throughout my career, which I was not great at that. And, these dudes on the punt team, like, they're a core. Like, I can imagine your guys, you took a lot of pride in every single day, what we're going to do, how we're going to get down the field quick. You run little games, one and guard tackle games where you're going to set a pick for each other. I remember I was on punt return one time. I remember getting down in my awful 3-point stance, right in like the A gap, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And the dudes were kind of laughing at me already. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing out here? And I don't know why I was there for that game. And the first time, I thought I was coming scot-ass free. Oh, this is a block punt. My first time on punt team or punt return in the NFL. And they were just doing like a little simple game. And I get trap block, boom, knocked clear across the center. I'm laying in the back, like in front of the punter. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I felt like the whole game they were just messing with me and they were laughing the whole time.
Yeah, and because you're in their world. You're in their world. That like special teams is not football. It's a very different style of football. There's different rules. There's different cover. There's everything is different, and it's
There's so many little tricks, like vet moves that you can do, slingshotting yourself off of jerseys, all of those things. But when they're working together and you're going against a good like punt unit,
you're fucked.
like those guys, you don't mess with them. Like it's not fun.
What's your best play you've ever had?
I have no idea.
I kicked it onside kick to myself.
You did what?
I kicked it onside kick to myself. Now it's your turn. What was the best play? Like in your head, there was a play that just popped in there. I'd assume. You've never had a concussion.
No, I mean I could say like I was lucky. I got picked off Favre when he was with the Vikings in Lambeau. That was a good moment.
Big play. How was it? Did you get good read or good athleticism? What was it? Did you know what he was going to do? Did you stare him in the eyes before the play and say, "Oh, I know, son of a bitch is doing this"?
No, Brett was scrambling around. He ended up getting hit as he threw it, so he threw it a little bit behind the guy, and I caught it and returned it for a little ways and got tackled on the sidelines. But yeah,
this body catch, hand catch.
Yeah, it was a body catch because I was covering a guy and then Brett threw it behind him, so I had to kind of go back for it.
Wow, tough catch with Brett Favre. They said it was tough to catch
You
those
see,
balls.
I have a cast on my right hand too, so I couldn't carry the ball in my right.
Okay, so you intercepted Brett Favre with a broken freaking hand?
Well, no, I had surgery after the season that year that I had that, but I had to wear a cast for a long time just to so it didn't pop out of place.
That's the hands of Hawk?
The hands of Hawk, man.
Hands of Hawk. Hawk.
Is this a thing that I don't know about? You guys have so many little inside situations.
But the thing about it is, they're not inside. They're very outside.
Yeah, I mean, watch basketball one time.
Very outside.
Watch basketball one time?
Yeah, geez. Come on, Aaron. I mean, support.
Is it okay? I think I made a comment yesterday about watching the movie called The Hunt. Maybe?
Oh yeah.
Don't do it. Awful.
Not good.
Got duped. $20 rental. Okay, cool. During this
Then he
time of
he shut down a
isolation.
conversation to tell us he's watching a hunt. We were talking about something else, and you were talking about this hunt being like a massive play.
Yeah. Well, I was stupid. I was duped. It was terrible judgment by myself. I listened to one or two people tell me it was good. And I'm like, yeah, we got to do it. You know, what else are we going to do? This movie was supposed to be in theaters. They're making it available to rent. And it's awful. I thought it was like a legit horror movie. It's like a weird satire kind of making fun of other movies, I think. But it's not. I don't know. I stopped after 40 minutes. It was terrible.
In your defense, the preview was very good.
What was that?
Yeah, exactly. I saw the preview. I'm like, cool. You can't tell. It's like the whole movie is sarcastic. I don't get it. It's just not good. Early on in the movie, some lady takes a heel off and stabs the guy in the eyeball and then pulls his eyeball out. I'm like, okay, we're watching one of these movies. But it looks almost like kids made the movie or something. It's stupid.
It's called what? Dark comedy or something, right? Is what it's called?
Yeah.
There's Matt Damon's in a movie. I think it's a dark comedy. I forget what it was. It's bad. I watch it because I like I think it's Matt Damon.
Not The Great Wall.
No, that would
That
not
is
be a
far
dark
from
comedy.
a dark comedy.
Is Jojo Rabbit a dark comedy?
Yes.
Yeah.
This one was very bad.
Suburbicon?
Yeah, there it is. Is that it? Is Matt Damon in that?
Yeah.
Is it what is it? The genre?
Dark comedy.
Yeah, there it is. It was terrible. I thought it was a horror movie, and I was like, "This is a bad horror movie." And then I didn't realize till after it was supposed to be a comedy. I was like, "That was a comedy." Like, I just those some of those things I just don't. I'm not smart enough to get. I don't think I'm sophisticated enough to fully get.
Maybe I'm not either because I don't get it. I was hoping for like a legit. Did you ever see Surviving the Game with Ice-T?
Is it like The Pest?
I don't know, but he goes and he's hunted. He was a homeless guy. These rich dudes pick him up. They take him to this big,
Island?
huge island, and they hunt him.
It's The Pest. Yep, I have seen that. Is that what the hunt is about?
I thought that's what the hunt was about, and it's kind of about that. Like these powerful elites try to hunt these people, and they don't really know what's going on. I didn't watch long enough to really get any kind of conclusion, but yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, oh yeah, man, Surviving the Game was amazing. I can't wait. Hopefully this is like that. And it was nothing like that.
John Leguizamo was in The Pest. Still refer to that movie every single day of my life.
Great actor.
Great actor, John Leguizamo.
He should have been in that Imagine video singing. Where was he?
He's too good for that.
I'll tell you what, a lot of people, just like us, did not love that video. I guess that video was highly remarked as poor taste and terrible. Well,
But what was their intent going in, though? What do you think the intent was from all those celebs?
everybody misses us.
Warn the world. Help them out.
This video is going to be played for the next 30 years to show like the inspiration we brought to the not only the American people but people around the globe.
Yeah.
Us celebs without makeup, as I'm sure they say, oh, makeup free. Yeah, okay. And you got makeup done for 2 hours from a professional that you flew in to do it for this imagined video, most likely some of them. And I guess they just missed. It's a swing and a miss. Right?
You think there's professional makeup doers for the without makeup pictures that people put out?
Absolutely. There has to be.
I specialize in the makeup that doesn't look like you have makeup on.
I'm a minimalist makeup artist. That's probably how they say, like, like it's going to look like you have no makeup on, but you're going to have a ton of makeup on.
Hey, some of those makeup, very good at making you look a lot better. I mean, there's been a couple places that have put me on the television and they've forced me to put makeup on. And boy, it's like a real life filter. It can really. You put on a mask. You put on an entire mask on the face. It was really impressive what they were doing.
Do you like that though? Because I know some people say, like, I've heard different commentators even say, like, I don't like wearing makeup or don't want to, and because they'll say, then I meet someone in person and they're like, wow, you look awful. You look so much older in person. I'm like, well, yeah, the dude's been wearing makeup for the last 15 years on your TV. So I don't care either way, but
I don't think I mind the real life disappointment of people. You know what I mean? I don't think I mind it. I could never do it on a daily basis to myself, but I could never ever do it.
You mean wake up and put makeup on every day and come into work?
Bro, they come in flying with it. They put it was, and this is two references to an icon, but it really was like they were Bob Rossing my face. You know what I mean? Like they had a palette out. They had like different little tones, and it would be like just. I mean, it was an insane thing, and I was like, "What's going on here?" And
you ever feel weird? You ever feel weird when you watch them do the makeup for, say, somebody that's been doing TV for 20 years, and they're like, oh, they just touch them up real quick, and then they spend 15 minutes on your face. You're like, hey, what are you trying to tell me?
What the fuck just happened here?
What are you doing? Why are you spending so much time on me?
Excuse me, is it because you don't know my face? Is that why? Or do you know their face? Is that why it's much quicker time on them and then instead of me? Wait a minute.
Yeah, why are you getting extra like concealer out of your bag to put on my face?
Why are you digging into the drawer that you haven't opened all day? Well, gonna have to get the new shit. You know what I'm doing? They have those spray guns in there too. It's like a car. I mean, it is insane what they do. And then you see these tutorial people that are on the internet. I mean, it's next level what makeup can do. But when
people make big money doing makeup on YouTube. I know that.
Unless they get shadow banned.
We hope that doesn't happen again. I hope you guys get that cleared up. I don't know what you did on your earlier show yesterday.
I know exactly what was done, and look at you right now.
Exhibit A.
What we did, Aaron.
What we did, Aaron.
So
Your lungs.
if we get, I don't inhale cigars, but
Don't knock it till you try it.
I don't want to try it. But so we're gonna get shadow banned for me smoking tobacco from a cigar, but somebody can openly have a liquor bottle that has been rigged for some sort of bong to smoke
Excuse
CBD
me?
out of.
Where's that at?
Blasphemy.
I'm just telling you, Pat, you weren't off camera earlier on the show.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, I was.
Completely off
He
camera.
was.
You know what? Maybe you were cropped out in that. In how I see the show, you were not off camera by any means.
Wait, by the way, that was my CBD and vitamin mixture. Vitamin C, D, B, A, T, H, and C were all in there. And people can't talk about that. But that is a rule that you break on an every show basis that is probably getting a shadow banned.
You're telling me all the people on YouTube, nobody's smoking cigarettes or cigars on YouTube?
No.
Or is just you're so big, your channel is so big that we got shadow banned because of it?
Nope, we are not big enough yet. We are nowhere near where some people are. But they say no squares. Not allowed to rip darts, bro. Not allowed to.
Sad rules.
Not allowed to
Hack a dart.
Not allowed to suck. Oh, hold on, here comes Billy Tubes. By the way, Billy Tubes just came in. Are we shadow banned, Billy Tube? I mean, we're gonna find out right now if your little cigar game you've been playing with YouTube is really worth it. You've been dancing with Google, AJ.
Okay.
I would like to let Aaron know that we are demonetized again today.
AJ.
Are you serious?
100% serious.
Thanks, Aaron.
Are we demonetized and people can't see the show?
Well, yeah. When they demonetize you, they snip the publication and the promotion.
Because you had to play fast and loose with your devil's
Yeah.
lettuce over there.
Yeah,
And then they'll
because
put it up later, or what?
Nope.
No one's going to see it.
no one's ever going to see
Buried
this.
in a hole.
It's
This
gone.
one's gone
off of what?
forever.
It's gone.
I still don't really believe you guys, but
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
You calling us liars then?
You call him Billy Tubes a liar? MVP?
no, I would
Oh,
never call Bailey McComas a liar.
No one calls him that.
No one calls it.
Billy
No one
Tubes.
calls
Stop being
him MVP.
disrespectful.
Yeah,
Well, he calls me Aaron. Why can't I call him Bailey?
Everyone calls you. Aaron.
No one calls you Aaron. No one calls me Bailey. Let's make a mutual agreement here.
people have been calling him Aaron today.
Just one.
Mostly Connor.
Yeah, I mean, it's his name.
Whatever. Okay. You want me to not smoke cigars on here anymore, Pat? Is that what you're telling me?
Hey, you do whatever you want to do, bub.
No,
Listen.
I don't. I mean, I want the show to go out, so I can. I'll duck off camera.
By the way,
I
this
wanna
is
have a
not
cigar.
our rules. I don't want you to, like, we didn't. Hey,
I know.
I want to let you know, I hate this rule. I hate it. I would like to rip the hell out of that thing that I inhaled right over there, right here, but they say can't do it.
Wish I could smoke cigars on camera.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I would like to smoke cigars on camera too.
How do we know it wasn't your cone full of CBD earlier this
Doesn't
week
have
that
it.
caused?
No,
Don't have it.
wasn't affected today.
What happened today?
Billy
All right,
ran
well,
his head through a
give me the
2x4.
email from the YouTube people that sent this to you or sent you the update, and I want to talk to them. I'll let them know.
You need proof now, huh?
I definitely need proof.
Oh, I call Billy Tubes a liar.
We got a screenshot from yesterday. Right?
Hey,
Yeah.
Billy.
Pop it up.
Billy, how do you feel about him calling you a liar like that?
I mean, I was a big fan of AJ when I was,
Yeah.
whenever he was playing and everything, and I really
Yeah.
looked up to the guy.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Said that guy does everything right. And now here you are sitting in the middle of your workplace getting accosted and called a liar by the man that you once idolized.
And I mean, and it is solely because of him that I'm having poor performance at my job. Honestly,
Wow.
you know.
Wow.
Not suitable for most advertisers under review. So they should review it and then give us the
Yeah.
go ahead.
But they
there's no
can't
one to
review
review.
because there's nobody at work.
Well, it's an algorithm that shuts us down too. It's not like a person sitting there watching.
Yeah,
is it?
but there's no human to check the algorithm because they're all at work. No, they're all at home, I mean.
How does the algorithm work? Like, what kind of computers do they have or robots that can see me smoking cigars? and
AJ
instantly
Hawk
take the show down?
plus cigars equals demonetized.
Yeah,
Watson.
it's crazy. It's crazy that they got something. They got a robot that just scans right through and picks up some Watson potentially Eric, all that stuff.
Well, all right.
AJ,
We'll get it- we'll get it
play
cleared
any,
up.
They don't play any games though. I mean, that is
Your addiction is ruining our company.
what's on your shirt. Is that a wolf?
Oh, yeah.
I don't. What is it? It's some kind of animal.
It's a wolf.
That is
I've
a
been
fierce.
so
That
curious.
is a pub
That is
wolf right there.
Yeah.
That's better than any pub wolf I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, that's the custom one we sent to his house.
I did not know that you wear shirts like that just on a regular basis right there.
Big graphic tee guy.
long
it's a
tee.
Long. Oh my God, that's a
Yeah, it's
good
long
shirt.
sleeve.
Is that Ed Hardy?
No, it's from a website called themountain.com.
Oh, they won't be able to hear that sponsorship because you smoked cigars earlier and got us kicked off the internet.
Did you wear Affliction?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I did have a few Affliction shirts. Yes, I have definitely talked about it. It's a rough time for society.
I did too, man. It was tough. It was hard not to. It was hard not to buy in. It was hard not to.
It was tough. There's about 2 year span. It was very difficult to stay away. And then all of a sudden, it's like, bam, something hit, and no, you can't wear this anymore. Like one day, and just all of a sudden was done.
And you should feel terrible about ever wearing it. Like I honestly don't know what happened, but it happened. And boy,
Did you wear the jeans with the little bedazzled and all that too?
oh yeah, come on. You with these
I
legs?
never had those, luckily, but man, I had some shirts.
With these legs? Oh yeah. I had the old. They had the old. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Had to. All right.
I hope they're still going strong.
They're going stronger than this YouTube because we got shadow banned because you smoke cigars.
This is crazy. We gonna do it tomorrow?
I don't think so, pal.
Oh man,
Do you want to? We can do it tomorrow.
I thought we were supposed to. I don't care.
Time to get back from church.
Yeah, you got church on Sunday?
You going to church? You think mass gatherings like that are happening?
Well, you go one at a time.
In Jesus' house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose house?
Jesus' house.
We stream church now in these times.
Oh,
What's your favorite stream?
I don't know.
Oh, see, I like that one with that guy that put the Vaseline on his fingers and was praying that coronavirus would go away through the television. That's my stream.
Is that Joel Osteen?
No, it's Cowboy Ken.
Sounds like one of the top tier preachers we have.
You guys saw the video I posted a week
yeah,
ago. I think his name is actual Cowboy Kenny, by the way. He had Vaseline or something on his fingers, and he was wrapping up his stream of his show, his prayer show, and he said, if you're feeling sick or whatever, put your head to the TV. And then he prayed away the COVID-19.
was he on ecstasy?
Could have been.
That's like an X-head thing.
I don't listen. Maybe old Cowboy Kenny was on ecstasy curing COVID. By the way, Z-Pack and something else, erythromycin.
That is a Z-Pack. I think it is erythromycin or whatever is a Z-Pack, isn't it?
No, I think there's another word for the Z-Pack. I'm not sure. Whatever. The fact is, they figured the COVID-19 out. They think.
Who told you this?
I don't know. The internet.
I know there's been a lot of speculation on Trump saying like, "Oh, these antivirals, we're hoping they work. We're going to try maybe some things that treated polio in the 40s. Maybe it'll work for COVID-19." And then anytime there's scientific info, they try to debunk it. But Trump's like, "Hey, I have hope. I'm hoping it works." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm hoping it works too. I'm hoping they find something."
I did not hear what the president had to say about this, but the internet this morning was sold. The internet was sold. We figured it out. The research is
I believe he was talking about it a little bit too.
okay. All right. So the internet and Trump agree. There's no way that is happening right now. But the internet was pushing and said they figured it out.
If so, we're going to run out of it so quickly because people have been going to the doctor, calling the doctor forever. I've seen this guy actually, this pastor who you popped on the screen.
Oh, you found
I think isn't this the guy that got a news station kind of came and attacked him, or at least confronted him with the info like, "Hey, why are you flying private all over the place and doing all this stuff?" How he was using the church's funds.
Well, it's a lot of prayers. I mean,
He can reach more people that way.
You think those prayers are going to pray themselves? No. Cowboy Ken's got to do it, and that's why he needs a $10 million plane.
You have to fly private with all that ecstasy. You can't take it on a commercial flight.
His hands were dripping in something. That guy. Look at him.
It was probably holy water, wasn't it?
Oh, true. I didn't even think about that. But
I mean, why would he dip his fingers in Vaseline and say this is going to cure you?
Ecstasy feels very good.
Could be.
What they say.
Lathered.
Is that a byproduct of ecstasy that you want to just like the texture and touch of things?
Let's just say I know some people who were big into ecstasy back in the day, and yeah, the touch and feel of things was very big to them. So they would go get Vaseline and rub it all over each other.
Is this for a friend? Is that from a friend?
Yes.
Is ecstasy still a thing, or is it strictly just Molly now?
It's pretty much the same thing.
His name is Kenneth Copeland.
Cowboy Ken. Sometimes this brain really pulls things out, and I'm very proud of it sometimes. Cowboy Ken. That was the guy's name.
Well, good. I think I found a new stream tomorrow.
Yeah,
for church.
It's probably late night tonight. I think he buys his time. He doesn't get it.
Yeah, Bailey just sent the president was tweeting about this concoction.
Try and say that word.
Concoction?
No, the word he just tweeted in here.
Erythromycin?
Nope, the other one that's in this tweet.
That one's actually easy.
With a Z-
chloroquine.
Chloroquine? There you go.
That hydroxychloroquine? Chloroquine.
Or quine.
Oh, chloroquine. I don't know. I guess that and a Z-Pack is the Mick. Did he just cover up the screen because he was just hitting the hell out of his cigar? Look at you learning. Look at that. You adapting to the rules.
Yeah, I don't want to do that too much.
All right, so this is good news. I'm going to head home. I have to. Oh, wait, I had a question I wanted to ask you.
What did it have to do with?
I think it was Tampa Tommy. I think it was something about Tampa Tommy.
Buying a jersey?
Yeah, are you gonna get a Tampa Tommy jersey? Have you ever bought another human's jersey in your life?
I have not bought another human's jersey. My kids don't even have any jerseys, actually.
How do you feel about the jerseys thing?
I'm cool with jerseys. My college roommate used to tell me, not Nick, the other one, Johnny. He was like, "Hey man," he's like, I walk from the house to your guys' games, and I see like these dads wearing your jersey, and I see their poor little kids walking with them, and I'm like, damn, these kids got to be so sad that their dad's so excited to go watch these other people, and he doesn't seem to care about his kids. I was like, wait, did the kid have a jersey? He's like, no, the kid didn't have a jersey on. I'm like, oh yeah, I could feel bad for those kids too.
Oh my God.
I have a question on that regard. AJ, have you ever seen a teammate or another player in the locker room have to do a jersey transaction, like buy another player's jersey because of the number?
I never saw it happen. I don't know if it happened in Green Bay when I was there, actually. But I know who is it Godwin who's
Godwin,
giving
yeah.
12 to Tom Brady?
Yep.
Yeah, and he's a wide receiver. He cannot charge Tom.
Gotta just give it to him.
Yeah, you have to.
He said
He
he
could have
is.
charged Tom $100K probably.
He said that?
No, I'm saying he I don't know how bad Tom really wanted it, but
TB12,
he would have
Yeah.
came across. It would not have gone over well if he would have said, "No, Tom, he can buy it. He can't have it if he can buy it."
He's a wide receiver too. Tom and Bruce's roster control conversation would revolve around, the guy that just tried to make me pay $200,000 for the number 12. There's a guy named Antonio Brown out there. Let's just do a little. Is that possible? Imagine Tom just going in there and being like that. There's no way Godwin could have charged Tom anything there. No way.
No, he said he was just going to give it to him.
Well, he has no other no other option for him. Literally, financially, there's no other option. He's in a tough spot there, and I feel bad for the guy because he's had that jersey for his entire career as well.
His Twitter is CG12.
Yeah, we looked it up. He wore it in high school too. Like,
Man.
I think it's a whole life number.
And he's got no other option.
Whenever Tom retires, is he going to take number 12 back then, you think?
What if Tom doesn't retire?
What if Tom changes numbers? Like Kobe. Kobe went to 8.
Yeah, but TB12, the
TB8.
you know what I mean? Like the TB12 treatment, unless they're going to start a new company.
Different numbers, like the Florida TB12 could be TB9 or whatever he wants to wear.
Oh, and then every team he plays for, and just in that state or region, it's the number that he wore there. That's smart.
I mean, how many different teams is he going to play for?
We don't know. 2 years from now, he's 44. TB12 treatment, avocado ice cream. You win a couple Super Bowls. What's he going to do? Re-up again for another 2 years?
Well, in his contract, he does have like a no tag clause. They can't franchise tag him, meaning like, hey, he may be thinking about playing past these 2 years.
Oh, yeah. Tom versus time, bub. Tom versus time versus Tampa.
Facebook original.
Pretty good, by the way. I didn't mind
Yeah,
it.
it was. It was pretty good. But
The kiss on the mouth from the. Do your kids kiss you in the mouth?
Yeah, not for 6 seconds though.
Is that what the problem was?
It was the length. It wasn't as much. And his kid was probably 10. Like, hey, on one hand, I think it's great to see a hands-on dad and see his kid loves him. He loves his kid.
Pretty good backpedal there by AJ.
No, not backpedal at all. But to hold a kiss that long with the kid, I think that's what made people have some issues with it. Now, Connor, I don't know exactly how you feel about it. Did he hold it too long?
I mean, before I would have said it was a regular kiss, but now looking back on it, watching the tape, I mean, 6 seconds is far too long. Almost disgusting when you look at it.
Bro, he is completely 180. He's just a role player. Tom Brady was just a role player for the Patriots in
One of
Connor's
11.
eyes. Just
One
one
of
of
11.
11. That's all. No big deal.
Team game.
Just
Looking back on it now, it's amazing how things can change for some of those Patriots.
just like that. Just like
Just
that.
perspective.
Rain, gloom, quarantine, St. Patrick's Day canceled, and you leave. That perspective can get changed pretty quick, I think, in their eyes.
Yeah,
There's
did
a
you
fire
think he
at
held
your
that kiss
house.
a little too long?
What's that?
I think there's a fire at his house. There's smoke coming up. You good?
Oh, is
AJ?
it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got some incense burning. I'm good.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, smart.
Yeah. I felt like your guys' studio was on fire for a minute.
No,
Earlier.
we're good.
No.
Never.
Febreze.
Yeah.
Breeze.
Tom, you never answered me.
What?
Pat.
What?
What'd you feel about the kiss during the Tom versus Time
I don't
Facebook original?
I don't have kids. I don't know how those humans at that age exist. I don't know.
So do you plan on having kids ever?
Yeah, I think so. I've come around to it. I've come around to it in the last couple months, year.
You'll figure it out. Once you have your own, you'll figure it out. I just wonder with your wedding though. You brought it up earlier. I was going to ask you. So it was scheduled for when? Summertime.
Summertime
and somewhat early summer, from what I recall. That's something that you may want to talk over with the lady. Is that O-Town? O-Town sang a song called Summertime, I think.
O-Town?
O-Town.
They were one of the boy bands back like when NSYNC, Backstreet were big, then O-Town was one step
No,
below.
that- You're
O-Town
thinking
was
of,
you plus me equals us,
Yeah,
geometry.
You're thinking of LF.
Together.
LFL. what were they
Summertime
called?
Girl? Summertime. Yeah, stuff.
I know my calculus.
But no, that was Sublime. R.I.P. AJ.
Yeah, that's Sublime.
Sublime.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Bradley Knoll, rest in peace.
Pat, what do you stop staring at me?
I didn't know if you were going to have a little bit of.
You there? You all right?
I didn't know if you're going to have a moment of silence for Sublime or Kenny Rogers or any of these other people.
Is Sublime dead?
What?
Whoa,
Bradley
jeez.
was, yeah.
Goodness.
Oh, I didn't know. I mean, I know Sublime. I know a few of their hits, but I don't know anything else.
You said it pretty aggressive, though, whenever you said
Is he dead?
Yeah.
I mean, like, did the whole group die and I didn't know about it? Was this something
Whoa,
that
no,
flew under the radar?
whoa.
Jeez.
When you're a close group, if one goes down, everyone goes down.
Yeah.
That's a great point. So, Pat, your whole show, if one of you guys gets sick, say not Pat, say somebody else in the studio gets sick,
Yeah.
does everything go down? Everything shuts down. right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we won't be able to survive.
No, I had pink eye. I was quarantined for a week.
True.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it was like
How did you contract
2 years
pink
ago.
eye?
Yeah, stripper.
Great question.
You can guess.
Booty hole.
We're kind of
Booty hole.
we're kind of like Toon Squad when they had MJ. We just could feed MJ the ball. If one of us get hurt, we're all right. The team's
No,
gonna be
by
all
the way,
right.
needed a tune squad, though. You couldn't field a team if you don't. I mean, needed a tune squad. There's a couple guys, though. If Zito was to go down, I'm not sure anybody would be able to survive. I don't think anybody would be able to survive without Zito.
Screwed.
Yeah, the whole place.
Does Tito have? There it is. Tito. Does Cuban
Tito.
Tito have the best? Is he the most tech savvy guy in the office?
Old Cuban Joe.
Oh, Cuban Joe.
I was talking to Tito about how to cut up videos and everything. I remember him telling me to get Final Cut. I've been really thinking about it.
Hey, he's a 5-tool player, man. Zito is a 5-tool player. He can set up a production. It'll look nothing like how it's supposed to look, but it will work. It will work.
He's got his own methods.
He can host. He can do it. He can fix it. He can build a computer if you need him to. He can literally build a wrestling ring by himself. He is just a all-terrain ATZ.
Oh,
ATZ. That is what he is. He has
ATZ?
ATZ. He's an all-terrain guy. He's just a utility player, that guy.
That's how you should be. So like I doubt he's ever asked, well, how should I get that done, Pat? Like you could text him and say, hey, we need this for tomorrow. You come in and it's done. And he may have been grinding all night for 12 straight
Only
hours
flaw,
to put
AJ.
something together. And then you're like, man, it's so nice. Like he just gets it done. He doesn't have to come to me and say, oh, hey, Pat, how do I do this?
I mean, there's some confusion for sure, but I mean, the job does get done. And that is what, by the way, that's the team that has been assembled over here. We have no idea how it's going to happen. Probably shouldn't happen, but it will happen.
If it involves phraseology, I need help.
Yeah, see, those are things that he really struggles with. Common sense and making sense.
Can you define what exactly phraseology is?
Just writing like a common sentence. I'm really bad at that.
Oh, so English.
English language, also another way to describe what he says.
literacy in general. Yeah.
He's tough. His brain's moving so fast, and then there's the squirrel mindset happening, and then so to read, you got to time up what your eyes, your brain, and your mouth at the same time, right? So all three kind of have to be on the same page to read publicly. Zito, if he can get all three of those things in correlation one time, that would be massive because they're all doing different jobs because he can do everything. And that's just the way Zito is. He's just this well-rounded. That was not a Nick.
Oh, come on.
No, Nick, don't say that, Nick. Nick, don't.
What?
You started
You
looking.
said it, Nick.
Whenever I said he was
I
well-rounded.
saw you, Nick.
We heard it.
You wrote
I
on your
mean,
phone.
the physical description of Zito would be like a husky, circular
Like a
type.
dog?
That was actually kind of nice of Nick.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Husky.
Active husky.
Winter dog.
Like
Yeah.
when they eat the blueberry in Wonka factory.
There it is. There it is.
I'd never seen the movie, but I saw that part.
Yeah.
I think for Office Olympics one day, Pat, you guys should get a teleprompter, set it up, and have old Tito read 2 or 3 paragraphs.
Come on. We have done that too.
We will give away. So we'll have a certain amount of words. It'll be like a 3,000 word thing. For every word he gets right.
Let's start with 300.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
$1 for every.
$1 for every word he gets right, we will give away. And he has to do it like in a presidential style. He has to have a suit on.
And a podium.
And
Don't get a podium for him.
Yeah. He has to have.
I thought that's what your wedding was going to be like.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have him read at the wedding. And that was, by the way, quite a fight with the fiance. She was like, no. I wanted him to get up there and read, because, like people get up there and read whatever from they read
From the book, yeah.
a paragraph
From the big book.
from the biggest of all
316.
time, the Bible. So I was going to write something for Zito to read in the middle of the wedding. And, I mean, it would just wouldn't have been, it would have been electric. And Sam wasn't all in at first, but then we had him read publicly on a very public occasion, on a regular occasion, and he got better and better. And then we stopped that, and he's back at square one. Yeah. But that would be an electric way to give away money. That is a great idea.
He kind of defies logic, though, because once he gets going, like if he's speed reading, he can get through it.
Big momentum guy.
It's like people with stutters, they can
come on.
sing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's like Zito.
Yeah.
But if he runs into a punctuation mark he doesn't fully understand though early, that could get him off. That could get him off the tracks early.
I never learned how to read. I just memorized some words.
Can I write the copy that goes in the teleprompter?
Yeah. You want to? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm putting there's gonna be a semicolon in the first
Oh,
sentence.
Oh my God! It'll be like those kids trying to jump over those hurdles in a truck.
So you're just mean, AJ. That's just
No, I'm just
uncalled for.
trying to help you guys through G Fuel and whatever else sponsorships give away some money.
Hey,
I only said that because when you mentioned reading, it reminded me of a few times when we had to read like Christmas carols during Christmas time when I was in Green Bay, and they put a prompter up and you'd only have to read 2 or 3 lines. And I wasn't laughing. I actually felt bad for certain guys that came in and the teleprompter really threw them off. And the teleprompter wasn't even really moving with them. It was just kind of their lines up there. And I understand reading out loud is not the easiest thing. I go to my kid's school and read the book where you sit there, you have mystery reader, and you got to read a book to them, look in the opposite, whatever. It's not easy to do, but man, I saw some players in the NFL struggle hard when it came to that.
how are you on a teleprompter?
I was pretty good. I mean, I don't want to. I'll never claim like I'm awesome at it, but I can read out loud. I'm fine.
What's your advanced reader level or whatever? Good question.
I don't know. I don't know what I am.
Ohio State legend
Mine's
level.
probably 5th grade, 5th, 6th grade. Some
You
people
think?
can't read.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not great with a teleprompter, but I feel like I can read. I'm not good with a teleprompter, though. It's like Nick Cannon in that Drumline movie.
Yep.
He can't read the music. He can play it. That's how I feel. I'm not good with the teleprompter, though. Anytime they've tried to put one in front of me, it hasn't gone great.
Well, you need it to be organic. Just that's what you do. You turn the camera on, Pat comes alive. Like that, they should never put a prompter with you. But I think it's not just you. If you're doing a legit teleprompter read, it's also the person controlling the teleprompter. They have to keep up with you and slow down and speed up with you. So it's not just the person on camera.
Imagine that teleprompter person whenever I get going, like pretty quick, And sometimes when I get going pretty quick, I'm even trying to turn up a little bit more to see who can really keep up with me, Like I very much, like when I'm starting to roll, I'm like, all right, I'm in the middle of one right now. There's probably some people that are hating hearing this right now, but I'm going to speed this up even more just to see who at the table is paying attention to what I'm saying right now. And every once in a while, I would love to see a teleprompter person controlling the speed, like, it's just impossible. I don't read good. And I think the teleprompter is going to have to be something I have to get over, I think, in this world that we're in. I think I'm going to have to that's where I'm going to have to see some real growth, as well as maybe having segments in shows. Those are the 2 things I'm going to have to really work on, I think, to see growth in this potential field.
Segments are weird. I'm kind of torn about segments.
I hate them.
Like, I understand some segments can be good, like when you have like reoccurring things, but a lot of times when you try to structure things, especially on the internet, it can just come off cheesy and stupid.
Yeah. I don't like. Speaking of, do you have our open? Do you have our intro? Yeah. Here's a segment. Beginning of the show. Please.
Look good, feel good, play good.
Play good, pay good, live good, die good. See, we forced that in there. That's what segments are. They're just forced in, I think.
Yeah, there's got to be there's good ways to go about it. You just got to find like decent segments. It can't be stupid things like, whoa, like I don't know. Like a lot of the segments that people try to like propose to you that you should do for certain things just are not great ideas. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
Like Pat's weather report. Okay, here we go. It's 1:48. Pat's weather report. And then they try to like make something funny that's not.
I'm on your side there. Nick, how many of these hard seltzers have you had? By the way, this is a new generation. I've never had one of these things. These hard seltzers, I don't drink them. This is a whole new generation of drinker. No. But Nick has had like 5 of them, it appears. Do these not really do any damage? Like,
Oh, they do.
Oh, they'll get you.
They sneak up on you.
They'll get you.
about to
They
get over
are-
that hump.
and the dangerous part is they are delicious.
it seemed like they took over the world there. Everybody was trying to catch up.
He's blurring them out as if.
Yeah, I mean, we give them enough love already. So, if they want to keep paying and give
They
us
got
some
a
money
lot
for
of
the
money.
rest, then.
Oh, Nick just played hard to get right there with a White Claw. Is that a White Claw there?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Bud Light, Corona, they all make them.
Why don't you go after John Taffer? He came up with his own line of hard seltzers.
Everybody is.
I had a run with John Taffer there, the bar rescue run. Everybody binged that for a little bit.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, the show's still going on.
Is it?
No,
I don't know.
No, they're not filming new episodes.
Oh yeah.
Bar Rescue's filming new
Oh,
rescue.
not right now, probably, but
Oh, jeez. See, that's the problem there with Zito. That's the problem with Zito. But there's still there's no way. There's
one came out February 9th.
But how is a bar understanding that they're going to put cameras in the bar and not just assume this is automatically bar rescue? Like, how is that even
they
happening?
always say it's like it's all a shame.
They claim that the people forget, like they come set the cameras up because you have all this surveillance footage of all the guy, like the bartender stealing booze and whatever, getting in fights, and they're like, oh, they've asked John Taft for that. He's like, well, once we put the cameras in, like they're weird for a little bit, but then after a couple hours, they forget they're there. And I'm like, no, there's no chance. Like I've lived in my house now for 7 years. I know exactly where every camera is on the outside of my house, and I'm fully aware if I'm peeing outside, this may be on camera, and someone may be able to hack into the mainframe.
So you have a spot that you go pee outside at the house?
I mean, lots of them, but yeah, I know exactly where the cameras are. I'm never gonna forget it.
Big outside pier.
He doesn't want his dick on his own home camera. I respect it.
Well, not mine. I mean, it's all tied into a security system and all this stuff, and I know the people who set up the cameras, they technically can jump in to check on remotely check the cameras to see if they're working. If they want to check on it. But I don't have inside. We
Could
don't
get
have
hacked
anything
in
like
any
inside
second,
like
too.
that.
Really?
That's why you put the little post-it note over your laptop webcam.
Yep.
Oh shoot.
Is that Cito? You got some shots of you think out there?
No, I just have 2 cameras pointing at me right now.
2 laptops.
Yeah, no posts.
I got 6 of
Yeah,
them.
there's a lot of cameras.
Oh no, we're exposed.
They can see us.
Oh,
They can
man.
see us.
We are in a spot.
I mean,
here.
Snowden tried to tell you guys.
They did.
Snowden tried his best. Where's he at? He's holed up somewhere right now, isn't he?
Russia.
Hopefully.
Turkey or something.
We don't like. You said is Snowden?
I
back?
hope he's holed up somewhere.
What was Snowden? Snowden's got leaked all the information.
WikiLeaks. Yeah.
I had a conversation with a guy. I forget what he was. Admiral, maybe he was an admiral.
Ooh.
I think he was an admiral. Came and spoke to our team. Then after the team meeting, you have snack, and then you have curfew. We had a team one year where everybody had snack, and then they went to their rooms. Right, so nobody hung around in the snack area except for 4 or 5 people. Very interesting. We were not great, by the way, and that's probably a pretty good sign right there. If nobody is hanging out with each other, probably not the thing. But I was down there, and there was a couple other players, and the admiral who had just spoke at the team meeting and had a conversation with a couple of the coaches, he wanted to eat before leaving, and his Secret Service come into the room right before he's in there. They're standing in there around the area, and then he comes, and there's only one table to sit at, right? Because everybody's gone. It's our table. So the admiral's sitting right next to me, okay, this guy, and there's Secret Service in the room. And this guy had no idea that he was just about to get a full questionnaire about the shit that is happening in the world. I don't know if he thought we were talking about football or not, but that was back whenever Ebola was happening. That was back when all that stuff was going on. I was just peppering him with questions. I was like, Ebola, should I be scared of this or what? Just don't go to blah, 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 whatever parts it is, and you should be fine. I'm like, all right, sounds good. What's going on at the southern border? I feel like there's always a lot of conversation about the southern border. And he's like, well, we kind of have a blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, I shouldn't have done what I did earlier. I asked him, I said, how do we feel about Snowden? I said, how do we feel about Snowden? I was like, some people say this guy's a hero, And he goes, he's a fucking traitor. That was the only time he had any any level of energy or emotion at all. It was like, oh, he's a fucking traitor. And I was like, oh, all right, I'm going to lay off of that one. Then we'll go back to, so what do you like to eat? And he was like, oh, we have a chef that has to, so all his food has to like go through like a certain chef and stuff like this. Cause he actually had a meeting with the president on a daily basis. Like this guy had Secret Service. He has his own, he has his own world basically. And I was like, damn, full conversation with this guy. It's pretty awesome.
You think he remembers that conversation?
Oh yeah, I bet he does. He was like very comfortable. I think he thought this was potentially a downtime. His life is terrible, and he's like sitting down here having a chance to talk to like boys, and then instead it became a full fucking.
Didn't know he was gonna get 60 minutes hard hitting questions.
I was like, so what's going on with that southern border? What about the northern border? And like just like full on, boom, 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 boom. That poor guy. But Snowden was the only one that really got him to. Like have a real thing. I guess he is not a well-received person with the military folks, I would assume.
Yeah, you did. It's probably good you didn't feel the urge to push him on that. Like, really? I don't know. Like, I've been reading a lot of stuff online. I feel like a lot of people support him.
I've seen a lot of memes shared about this guy being Batman or Robin Hood or something along. Is that not? No, he is not. Whoever says that is obviously an idiot that doesn't know what's going on in the world today.
I assume it's because didn't he endanger a lot of assets in different countries?
I'm not sure. I haven't read enough about him, but I do know the internet feelings about him is a little bit different than that guy that I talked to at a pretty important event. That's insane, though.
Yeah, it depends. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know enough about it either, but I bet that Admiral, I bet he actually enjoyed it because he's not used to getting questions like that. He's used to being around people that probably are either too scared to ask him questions, or if they do, they weren't nearly as colorful as your questions.
That's so interesting because I went in with the thought, I'm never going to be able to talk to a human that has this information again. I'm never going to be able to talk to a guy like this before or ever again. So I was like, what are you going to do? You only get one shot. Don't miss your chance to blow, boys.
Back to
You
your
didn't ask
original
him
point.
like who killed JFK or where Tupac is?
Oh,
Nah, so I did miss. I missed a little. All right, I should ask those questions as well. We got held up on Snowden when he got emotional, and I just went back to eating the food. That was my fault. I did miss the Tupac conspiracy. Should have been one that I hit. Maybe even nope, not bringing it up.
Who?
Well, JFK you mentioned. Maybe even a JFK murder or something.
Area 51.
Aliens. I mean, there's a lot of things I should have asked about.
Yeah, those questions though. I'm sure he has gotten before. Mainly from probably like little kids or high schoolers. Like, oh, where's the aliens? Where'd you bury the aliens? Sorry.
What were you going to ask, Nick?
back to AJ's original point, man. There is not much better than just taking a piss in your own backyard.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I do it every night.
I agree.
I mean, that's how you can potty train boys. You teach them like you can pee outside. And like, oh, this opens up a whole new world. This is awesome. Like, yeah, 2 of my kids got potty trained that way.
Really?
At least pee.
Well, isn't potty
Takes a
training
little-
training them to pee inside?
It's to pee not in a diaper, to take a diaper off of them and let them go to the toilet and pee. But if you're like, hey, man, if you got to pee, go outside in the mulch right there. Just walk right outside the kitchen and pee right there. And then that just, their whole brain opens up. And I get 2 of my 3 boys. Yeah, that's how it works.
Oh, there's a tree.
Oh my God! Don't pee that
Luckily,
way.
I have space so people don't see us. We're fully concealed. But, yeah.
You just open the door in the morning. They just all run outside.
All right, you know what to do. Everybody go outside
still,
and piss.
They still pee in the toilet at
puppies.
times, but a lot of them are outside.
Yeah, like pets. I get it. I have a lot of those. I have a lot of pets. A lot of pets.
You have a lot of indoor cats.
4 of them. The 3-legged one's really becoming a savage.
Yeah, I got a 3-legged one that lives outside. I can't imagine having an indoor cat.
Oh,
You guys.
You got cats that live outside? Do you feed them and stuff like milk and stuff?
I have a three-legged outdoor white cat that is awesome. Yeah.
I have a 3-legged indoor cat named Scootsy. What's
they
your cat's
related?
name?
What's her name? Caitlin is her name.
Caitlin.
That's an interesting
Oh,
name.
interesting name for a
Caitlin
cat.
the
Caitlin
cat.
cat.
There you go.
Catty Caitlin.
Do you talk to
3-legged
it?
cat bros, though.
Do you ever talk to it?
No, I'm kind of scared of cats. They scare the hell out of me, but I got them.
Oh, Tiger King, Joe Exotic, the new thing on Netflix. It's this weekend.
I saw it come out the previews.
Yeah, Sam and I watched the first episode last night. Worth a watch.
Okay.
It's this guy named Joe Exotic. He's a
I've heard of them.
he's a cat collector out there in Texas, And then there's another one named Doctor something, and then there's a lady who is trying to take them all down, and now somebody's in jail for a potential plot to kill. I mean, it has layers, and there's tigers, and there's bears, and it has all the makings, and there's a lot of footage. I mean, it's good. It's worth a watch. Tiger King.
Okay. Yeah, cats. I mean, they're great outside to take care of any kind of rodent issue you may have.
Yeah, my cats just beat the hell out of little feather things in the house, and then the new thing they do is the headboard for the bed of ours is it's a cotton it's a softer material. It's not wood or leather. It's like a softer material, and we have some kamikaze cats that jump from the ground onto the headboard, scratching, getting their claws in, climbing up to the top of it, pacing back and forth, and then diving down on the other side. That happens like 4 or 5 times a night.
So they just ruin all the stuff in your house?
Everything, yeah. Pretty much everything. But you hear them come flying over.
So that's why you drug yourself to sleep?
Yeah. Have to. It's a jungle out there, pal. Yeah.
That's awesome.
You'll hear them, though, on the top. Every once in a while, they start meowing against each other. You know, there's a couple little rivalries in the house right now. They kind of all turn on who hates who. But right on the top there, that's like top. That's where the king of the jungle sits, at the top of that thing. And then every once in a while, somebody's trying to get the throne, and there's a full... And then down the other side, boom, off to the races, wherever the hell they're going. And then they're back like 20, 30 minutes later. Yeah, that's life with 4 cats.
Yeah, a lot of people are allergic to the cat hair. I'm sure you see that if people come into your house, they probably get scared to death.
Yeah. Yep. My brother, I think, he has a cat, and he's allergic to it. Yeah. Interesting decision. I've never understood it. He's trying to microdose himself like AJ Hawk.
I think Billy too.
I was going to say, maybe it works with cat hair.
Billy Tubes also has a cat. He's allergic.
I think so.
Like 3 of them.
There's no way you have a cat if you're technically allergic to it.
There's no way you eat shrimp if you're technically allergic to it. But
are you doubting Billy Tubes?
Touche.
So you're saying this guy's a liar again?
Here he is.
He's calling him a liar again.
by God, it's Tubes music.
So AJ, much in the same way that you microdosed yourself with shrimp to get over an allergy, I had a nice lady come into my life, and something in that time frame made me lose my allergy. You know, to cats.
Good for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
Cat
for you. You
dog.
found a lady and you beat your cat allergy.
Yeah. A lot of medication helps too.
Is it me? I don't want to say this like as a slight, but I'm a little bit worried that Bailey McComas may show up at my house and kill me one day. I feel like he's always on the verge.
It's an option.
He just seems like it's bubbling under the surface. Like, all right, yep, this guy's next on my list.
Not as a slight.
Not as a slight.
This is not as
one
a slight. But you look like
That's more of a compliment, but like he's like, I killed a lot of people.
Bill, take your
And you're
glasses
next.
off. Show
Don't
him.
do it.
Well, AJ, it would be nice if I just had like one older adult that would like take me under the wing.
Oh my God!
I mean, if you want to come at me like
What are
this,
you trying to say here, Bill?
Are you trying to adopt Billy right now? You can't.
Please.
Okay, Uncle Todd's a good guy. You're not going to become his dad, AJ. Is that what you're trying to? Are you trying to become this kid's dad right now? By
Maybe
putting-
like a surrogate father. Like I could be there when you need.
Hey, not
need
a
some
bad-
help.
Like a big
I know
brother.
it sounds like a decent deal.
AJ.
Yeah, as long as you promise you sign a contract that you're not going to kill me in my sleep.
And you have to pee outside, Bill.
I feel like it's under there. I feel like it's in there somewhere where just rage and just murderous rage.
No. He won the Office Olympics basketball today, and that rage that you might be seeing or sensing is actually just incredible athleticism. That's what that is. It's Billy Tubes, big brain, obviously. He doesn't lie, which you like to accuse him of doing all the time. And when it comes to basketball, maybe the greatest player in the history of the sport.
A lot of people are actually saying I am the AJ Hawk of basketball. I rammed my helmet into so many things and never got CTE.
You see that? See that?
I knew I liked old Bailey. Good guy.
All right, I'm out of here.
Sounds good. Thanks, fellas.
Are we doing this
Appreciate you.
tomorrow?
You tell me. You have to drive there. It's in my house. Let's do it. Let's do one tomorrow. Let's set up the first segment for tomorrow.
Let's think about it tonight.
Let the people know what's going to be on tap tomorrow.
We should think about it.
Well, that means no show tomorrow, but I know. It's like when someone asks you to do something, and you're like, "Oh, let me check my schedule. I got to get back. I just want to make sure I'm in town." Like that's what this is.
No, not with you. I would do that with somebody else, but with you, I wouldn't do that. We should.
He's right.
I would do that with.
Can't confirm.
I have done that with can't. Sorry, booked. Also booked. Tough. Might be open though. Hit me then. But I won't do that to you.
Okay.
I think we should talk about this tonight. See if we can get a guest. See if we can get some topics.
You guys should do church service tomorrow.
Who's got a book?
Should we wear a suit? Should we wear a suit and tie?
I think you just need a little jar of Vaseline.
Oh, we're doing Sunday service. No, Kanye's dead. By the way, something happened.
What? What?
I know. It
Oh
happened.
yeah, I saw the Taylor Swift
He's
unedited
not
video
dead.
came out.
Yeah, he's not dead, but Kanye West is over party, everybody. It was trending this morning. I didn't get to the bottom of it. From what I've been told from my gathering is that Kanye West is currently in a bad position PR-wise because a video of him talking to Taylor Swift came out explaining the song that was to come out, and it shows him not telling her that he's calling her a bitch in the song whenever all along Kanye and Kim have said that they got Taylor's permission to release the song. Yep. The unedited video, people are saying Kris Jenner released. So this is Kris Jenner potentially trying to take over quarantine. But that's just my early research. I could be wrong. Is that what you saw as well, Foxy?
That is correct.
So Taylor Swift was right. Kanye West was wrong. Wow. Confirmed.
All right.
March 21st, man.
R.I.P. Kanye, but not really dead. But for now, he's canceled for a few minutes.
He probably loves this.
Yeah, he loves
It only will help his record sales and everyone consuming all of his clothing and shoes and all of that.
Yeah, I think that's why Kris did it, if I had to guess. By the way, it has not been confirmed that Kris did it. I don't want to get on the bad side of Kris Jenner. I think she's maybe the most talented human to ever walk this earth. She's the female Vince McMahon.
Is she in the Illuminati?
Whoa.
Watch it with
She might be her own, by the way.
She may be the head of the Illuminati.
Well, she might have her own, too. We don't know. She just builds things up from scratch. I don't know. She might have seen the old Illuminati and said, yeah, that's cool the way you guys do it, but I'm going to do it this way, and just did her own thing.
Yeah, you might be right.
I feel like she probably did do that.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll check
you
on
ever
it.
met
We'll
her?
talk about it tonight.
Have you ever met Kris Jenner?
No.
Yeah, but you hang out at those things where shrimp cocktails on the people's shoulders and they walk around and stuff like that.
High society.
High society.
I've never been. I doubt I've ever been in the same state as Kris Jenner. I don't know.
Probably.
No, you definitely have.
Yeah. Fact show.
I mean, there's a lot of people I would go up to and introduce myself and say hello. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable going up to Kris Jenner and doing the same.
I don't think so either, by the way. I don't think so either.
What if she was like, Pat, oh my gosh, I'm such a fan. Like, you are so funny. That hot pepper you ate, like, you are just the best.
Oh, thank you, Chris. That means a lot coming from you. All right. Is there any way I can get in your like Illuminati thing you got going on? That would be how the conversation goes.
Yeah, then all of a sudden, like, just a whole new world of opportunities opens up for you.
That would be a tough ride, though. I think you got to really sell your soul to get over there.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure I could do that. You know?
Yeah, maybe for about $30 million a year, like some of them make all the reality shows, I could do it.
That they make so much money, so much of the monies. The YouTube kids too that don't get shadow banned, so much money, so much money. It's insane. Makes no sense at all.
With all the stuff going on in the world and on the world in the world of YouTube, if we're really getting shadow banned, if I want to smoke a cigar, it's I don't know, that's not right.
Hey, we're on your side here, pal. We don't make the rules. Yep. We don't enforce them either. They do.
Yeah, I just need to see a screenshot of where it says tobacco-related activity.
I think we already tell him we already showed him.
No, it said it's under review. It didn't say why.
The previous one did say.
The previous one did say, yeah.
That was on us for not showing you that one.
Yeah, we didn't show you the right one.
All right, I'm like Dr. Fauci on TV. I'm about the science. I'm about the facts. Like,
Show me the Carfax.
Would you really make a Carfax reference? All that?
I'll see you later.
That's it. Thanks.
Look good, feel good, play good.
Play good, pay good, live good, die good.